Hey everybody, Logan here. Today, this article, this thought, this idea, this little bit of information might rub some of you guys the wrong way. But I've been thinking about this and wondering why things have been changing so drastically within the last couple months. And in terms of sales, yeah, but let me stop being vague. Let me just get right into it.
Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything from gameplay to gear. Their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
So as you can see, the basic gist of this video is PlayStation 5 ain't doing so well. You may be thinking, oh, but the sales are fantastic. Sales are solid. Sort of. But in terms of console sales, yeah, Sony's been able to pop out more than Microsoft. So with more hitting retail shelves, yeah, sales have been doing very well. But we'll get into those stats, those charts, in a minute. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, the PlayStation 5 is winning hands down. Is it really, though? Personally, the trend seems to be that more hardware units are selling, but they're not readily available. You can't walk into your local game store, your GameStop, your Walmarts, your Targets, your Best Buys. You can't walk in and just buy one. You have to get lucky and get them online still. It's nonsense. Or you're buying them from scalpers. And the thing is, scalpers are buying them all up, so all the hard numbers that we're seeing, majority of them are scalpers. A lot of them are scalpers are still sitting on them. But yeah, they purchased them. So that's a little argument. I'm not going to get into that argument. So, because actual consoles in households compared to how many consoles are still in, scalper warehouses or houses, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about something a little different. Before we get into that, let me show you some numbers. So we're going to go right here. As you can see on the side over here, console hardware sales. This is according to VG charts. VG chart seems to be pretty, standard, pretty solid. People have been referring to them for many years, and their numbers seem to be good. Nintendo wins. Period. Nintendo's killing it, but Nintendo also has been out with the Switch since 2017. So, 3 years. But hey. Sony sitting at 9.75 million, and Xbox Series XS at 5.82 million. These numbers I'm sure would be higher if the chip shortages and all the scalping and the online only sales weren't a thing. People would actually be able to get their hands on them. People would actually be buying them. Then we'd have a more realistic number instead of just these. But these are some numbers that I really want to take a look at. As of July 3rd, 2021, United States, Mexico, and Canada, which is North America, you have Europe, you have Japan, and then you have worldwide. So, if you look, the Switch dominates across the board. Here, PS5, 60,000 in North America, 64,000 Xboxes, Series XS in North America. That's a thing. Now, Europe, PlayStation 5 seems to be dominating. It seems like they might be shipping more units to Europe than to the US, which I find weird. It seems like both companies. Now, this is a shock. This has gone up a bit, but from what I hear, it's the overall sales of the PS5 in Japan have actually been pretty lackluster compared to what Sony's wanted them to be. They should actually be closer to the North American numbers from my understanding of Sony's expectations. And the Series XS, yeah, that's doing very well. For Japan, that's doing very well. And apparently the Series S is killing it over there. And then worldwide, these are just multiple territories. It does seem like Sony seems to be shipping more consoles outside of the US. And of course, we're based in the US over here, so these are the numbers that we look at most importantly. But these numbers do count. But these numbers could also show different agendas for Sony and where they want to ship the units instead of actually sending them over to us. So we're going to focus on North American stats, not just overall, not just, hey, this one console cycle, just these few days. No, we're going to go overall, and overall you're looking at more reasonable like this. But if you want to come over here, you can actually see as of June, the PS5 versus Series X comparison. We'll take a look at that. And this site loves its ads, as you can see, the gap charts, PS5 versus XS, PS5 leads, of course. With the amount of consoles they've been able to manufacture and the chip shortages, I'm not surprised. I am surprised that Microsoft hasn't used their Microsoft might to get more chips to produce more consoles. This has been a question of mine, something that I just didn't understand, and I've gone through different sources and seems they're hurting on the chip shortage. I don't know, maybe because Sony's based in Japan and they have maybe they're closer to the manufacturers over there. I don't know, but it's an interesting situation Microsoft has over there. So the lead right now sits at 3,932,497. Gap change for PS5, as you can see, total. Yeah. So console wise, Sony's doing very well. So I bet you're asking yourself, then what's the BS title? BS title's not BS. The BS title is games. If you guys saw a video of mine earlier in the year, maybe a couple months ago, I made a video saying how the PS5 has been more my system of choice this generation, and boy has that changed since that video. Very few games have come out. Ratchet & Clank has been their big one, and now coming up we've got I guess the big one that they're pushing is Deathloop, because everything else seems to be pushed back to 2022. Horizon and God of War and Gran Turismo, everything seems to be pushed. So if not later than 2022, but we'll see. As of right now, Deathloop seems to be their last big, AAA title. That's an exclusive. I'm still keeping my eyes out, but even their state of play showed absolutely nothing. Free to plays, indies, those aren't system sellers. And Deathloop being owned by Bethesda, it being technically now a Microsoft IP. Even though it was signed and Microsoft sticking to the deal of being a console exclusive for the PS5, don't expect it to be a forever exclusive. I'm pretty sure this is going to come to Xbox and PC very soon, maybe within a year. They're going to work out the kinks of this exclusivity deal, and you'll see it on Microsoft platforms. But with that being said, that's just simply, they're pretty lackluster release for the rest of the year. Another thing that seems to be hurting them is their policy for upgrades. There are certain games like what do you call it? You got Soulstorm, you've got Guilty Gear, You've got a couple of other games that have been out. I think Chris Tales recently did it. But if you buy the PS4 version, you get the PS5 version. But nothing is a Sony first-party title. Sony first-party titles are going the way of, well, we thought they were going the way of Spider-Man and Final Fantasy. Even though Final Fantasy was not a first-party, it was an exclusive, but we thought they were going to go the way of Spider-Man. And then Ghost of Tsushima. If you have the title, you have to pay for the upgrade. Or buy the PS5 version. All over again. And then, not going to be surprised if they do the same thing, which rumor has it. Don't take this as fact. Rumor has it Last of Us 2 is going to be doing the same thing. But that was a pretty piss poor game. Shoot me, I don't care. It was a terrible game. Ghost of Tsushima should have won the Game of the Year, but hey, that's just me. So if they're just rehashing old titles, you know, and making you pay for the upgrade, just be honest, be straightforward. It's like, hey, we want to make more money. Or just go, hey, here's the PS5 version. Don't say there's an upgrade. Just release it on PS5. Just say, all right, here's the enhanced PS5 version. Don't talk about upgrades. Don't talk about, you know, enhancements. Don't just say, all right, stick with the we believe in generations and go, all right, this was the PS4 version. You can still play it on your PS5. It'll play the same, but here's the PS5 version. All the fancy versions. Just don't say anything else about it. Just leave it at that, and that's not what they're doing. So it's actually hurting, I guess you could say, their reputation with consumers, with gamers, where Microsoft, on the other hand, with the Series X, is doing quite the opposite. Certain games, like Microsoft Flight Simulator, is coming out specifically for the Series X because it needs that power. So, yes, it's been on PC for a while, but to run, it really needs the Series power. So that's why that's going to be an exclusive, and it looks like they're changing up the box arts, but that's not what we're talking about. So, with that being said, a lot of people are leaning back towards Microsoft, and that's why that number that I pulled up right here, we'll go back to this number. Hold on, wrong screen. Let's go back. Or we can just go to really slow. Right here. The number right here, that's 64,000 to 60,000. VG charts. 64,000 to 60,000, right there shows growth. And that growth is very, very much part of the entire, hey, I don't need to pay for the upgrade. Hey, there's a thing called Game Pass, which new releases will be released day one. We've got Forza coming. We've got Halo coming. And then, of course, we've got Fable, Perfect Dark, and anything Bethesda coming to it. And then they just released a slew of Bethesda games coming there. And then there's a ton of new releases every month straight to Game Pass. And Game Pass even includes the EA Play, which has all these great EA games. Wow, that sounds funny saying that, but there are a lot of great EA games. So, yeah, people are going, I'm just going to play over here. But looking at it another way, devs are doing the same thing. Devs apparently are now making more money, reportedly, making games for the Xbox Series X and putting it on Game Pass. So, with that being said, PlayStation Now is nowhere near the status of what Game Pass is. Game Pass is a killer app, and you can do it on console or PC with Game Pass Ultimate. I have Game Pass Ultimate. I'm not a PC gamer whatsoever. You guys know that. I dabble a few things here and there, but no, for me, gaming belongs on a console for me. And yeah, so with that just set out there, people are like, which one are you gonna grab? Oh, the table's set. I'm gonna grab that Xbox meal. That's a weird analogy, but people seem to be doing that now, and a lot of people are going, oh, but then I can just get a PC and play it all on PC. No, you can't. And PC is a lot more expensive to jump into than console. Trying to get a PC as powerful as a Series X will cost you an arm and a leg more than just buying a Series X. So that argument that PC players put out there, oh, I can just, no, that's an invalid argument, because I can pay less and get just as much. So yeah, we're not going to get into the PC versus console race, because those PC guys seem to be, yeah. So yeah, it looks like developers are preferring Microsoft and the Xbox platform. And that's what's causing the PlayStation to slowly flop. Sales-wise, hardware-wise, it's doing well. But take me, for example. Sorry, this video is getting a little longer, a little winded, but we'll go back to my, I don't want to call it an argument, my ideas, my thoughts, my perspective of the time. I preferred the PlayStation 5. A lot of decent stuff was coming out for the PlayStation 5, and I really liked the controller, so I was playing a lot of the multi-platform games on PlayStation 5 and getting all the exclusives, or the better versions, you can say, where the game was reviewed by, say, Digital Foundry, and they said, yes, the Series X version is better, so that's the console I'd pick it up on. But there was a lot of exclusives that were re-release exclusives, let me put it that way, that were only on the PS5. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But now there's nothing. Since Ratchet and Clank, we got nothing. So everything that has been announced has been kind of sloppy. There are a lot of people that think otherwise, that think the PlayStation, announced all kinds of great stuff at that State of Play. I saw nothing, and most people I've watched in terms of other YouTubers or spoken to in terms of friends who follow as well, think Sony's just got nothing for the rest of the year unless they pull something out their butts, which I'm hoping they do, because it kind of makes me feel like this year has been a flop for the PlayStation besides Ratchet and Clank. And I want some good games. I paid good money for the console, and I really want to have more to play out of it, and I've even customized it pretty well. I love the way I've customized my console. You guys can check out our Instagram if you want to see it there, Red Bandana Gaming on Instagram. But yeah, so hopefully things change. What I'm hoping for is both consoles to pick up in production, the chip shortage to end, so Microsoft can get more consoles out there, Sony can get more consoles out there. Maybe Sony can get, they did acquire a number of studios. Let's see if they can actually pull something out their butts and get some good games out there. At least announce some good games, so we have things for people to look forward to that don't keep getting pushed back. Okay, we got Horizon. I'm not really looking forward to Horizon. Wasn't a big fan of the first one, but I know it's a solid game. I know a lot of people like it, so hey, that's going to be a good one. God of War, Ragnarok, I'm sure it's going to be great. And Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo was the one I was really looking forward to out of those three, but it got pushed back. So, and it's not even an exclusive anymore. All the new videos now say it's going to be a PS4 game, which I'll get into that on another topic, but yeah, Sony losing more exclusives. But hey, tell me what you guys think. I've jabbered on long enough. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Tell me what you guys think. Am I the only one who's flip-flopping around? See what I did there? On the PlayStation, just like devs are. But hey, you've got two great machines. Great games up to this point. You've got a lot of great things down the pipeline for Microsoft. Sadly, I can't say the same thing for the PlayStation. But hey, for you PlayStation fans, you always got the Switch if you want some good games. Ooh. Sorry, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Head on over to redbandanagaming.com. Follow us on our socials, like we always say. Be legendary. Thanks again.